Alrighty, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Balake back in Balake's fish room. So today I'm just going to be doing an update on the Black Nasty tank, or the Nandopsis Haitiensis. So these guys, they were getting a bit feisty on each other, and for my liking, what I like is for the males to be, big enough and strong enough to be able to defend themselves but not have an aggressive nature. And what I was finding is that the male was actually quite a bit smaller than the female. And so when the female started to get aggressive and she looked like she was starting to get ready to spawn, she was bailing the male up in the corner of the tank. And I'll see if I can add in a little video shortly. But what was happening was the male was just getting bullied non-stop, and he's kind of doing it now. You can see it might be because I'm close to the tank, but he would be doing this behavior. So he would actually sit up in the top corner of the tank and do exactly this. It's actually crazy he's doing it for me on cue. It's probably just because I'm getting close to the tank. But basically what he was doing is just sitting up here, and he was actually sitting up here for about 2 days. So I asked the previous owner of these guys if this was normally, and he said, yep, that's pretty normal, but generally it didn't last too long. And so the female was kind of being quite relentless, and you can see her just down here. She was bailing him up into the corner, and yeah, not letting him eat and not letting him kind of have his own space in the tank. So what I've decided to do over the next couple of months, I want to keep them separate. I want to keep them separated with this egg crate divider. These are the best thing ever. A lot of people don't like having them in their tanks. They think they look ugly. I think they just show that you know what you're doing. And the last thing I want is for one of these fish to die just because either I'm being lazy or I just haven't thought it through. So as you can see, she was doing exactly that behavior, chasing him into the corner, and he was not looking his greatest. So what I'm doing over the next couple of months is I'm going to fatten him up, try and get him substantially bigger than the female, and not allow them to spawn. It's strange. I'm not really sure why the female has grown at the same rate as the male. Potentially because they have spawned so much, because these guys are a well-established breeding pair, that it may have stunted their growth. They've also come from a 5-foot tank, so 5 by 1.5 by 1.5. So I mean, by no means was it a small tank, but you know, this tank that they're in now is a 6 by 2 by 2.5 foot. So it's about 800 liters as compared to probably about 400 or 450. So it's a lot bigger for them. So hopefully what can happen over the next few months is he can just start packing on size. I've put this rock just on the side here. It's a nice flat rock that if they do spawn, she'll be able to lay her eggs on the surface of this rock, and he'll be able to swim up here and fertilize them through this divider. You can see there. So they can still contact each other and see each other, but without making actual physical contact. So he's still doing all of his breeding behaviors. Like, he's still digging out. He's got his breeding colors back, which is that little dark tinge on his fins, and she's gone pretty much full jet black, which again, that's a really good sign for them about to start spawning. So yeah, that's the goal with these guys. I really want to see them do well. I really want to see these fish grow big and spawn and everything, but I think the male just needs a bit of a break to establish himself, one, in this tank, but also establish a bit of size and a bit of dominance over the female, because the females in this species, they are just relentless, as you can see. So that is the plan. So that's probably enough on the Black Nasties. The other fish that's down here is actually another Black Nasty, and it's hiding at the moment, but it was just another one I managed to pick up, but I think it is actually another male. I put it in the aquarium with the male just after I put the divider in, just to see how they would interact with each other. And within a couple of minutes they were locking jaws and they were fighting and everything like that. So I thought, nah, I don't want to lose any, so I'm probably going to be selling or rehoming this guy here, that's down there. So we'll see if we can get a photo of that one. But yeah, so this is now the male that I want to keep, and that is the male that is already an established breeding pair with the female. Where has she gone? So there's a few caves in this section. Oh, there she is. So we've got that nice long hollowed out log. We've got another cave here, and then all the way back there down there is actually Reptile Cave, which I put in the aquarium. So that's just another one for her. So yeah, that's what we've got. So yeah, pretty excited to get these guys going. There's not much else to say on them. I might just run through a couple of tank requirements for these guys. So they are a single species only tank kind of fish. They do not do well with other fish. They are actually very sensitive. They're called the Black Nasties, and they seem like they have this crazy strong nature. However, if you have a slightly larger or slightly more aggressive fish, or even a fish that is a little bit more intense, these fish get very, very stressed very easily. And what tends to happen is they will stop eating, or they will even start to bloat due to stress. So they're an amazing fish. They are my favorite fish to keep, my favorite cichlid to keep by far. But yeah, it's a single species only kind of tank. So temperature wise, I don't know if I'll be able to get it on here. Yeah, there we go. So this tank is sitting at 27.7? No, it's 27.1 degrees now. There we go. So they can go up anywhere between 26 degrees all the way up to 30 degrees. I like to have it in kind of a medium. They spawn when the water's about 28 degrees, so we might try to get it up to there, but they're doing fine at the 27, so 27 degrees is fine. In terms of water changes, I do a 25% water change once a week. I gravel vacuum maybe once every 3 months. That's just for any aquarium. I don't do a whole lot of gravel vacuuming, simply because I don't think you need to, and I think it just causes a lot of stress on the fish by turning over all the gravel all the time. So I tend to do a deep clean on the tanks once every 3 months. So yeah, in terms of food, these guys, I give them a feeding of live black worms once or twice a week. So that they are quite high in protein, but it's a nice food to be able to give them that good dose of protein at least once a week. Look at him. He is just gorgeous. Yeah, so give them a good dose of protein once a week, but most of the time I've just got them on a omnivore pellet. I use Ocean Nutrition Omni pellets. See, and even the female, she looks absolutely fantastic. They're just an amazing fish. So hopefully they do start to spawn. Look at her, even through the divider, she's just trying to kill him. So yeah, that's the food that I feed them. So yeah, just to recap, the live black worms and some Omni pellets. What else is there? So we've done temperature, we've done water changes, we've done the food. I guess the next thing to consider, and this isn't a must-have in all tanks, but I have a Wavemaker in here. As you can see at the top of the aquarium, it keeps the water surface moving. Just for peace of mind, I like to have a good amount of surface movement, so I know that the tank is well oxygenated. That surface movement on the tank allows, you can probably see it here, but it allows all these tiny little particles of air to just travel down into the water column. And with the bubbles that are shooting up through the bubble filter, the sponge filter, and the bubble curtain that I've got at the back there, the Wavemaker helps really move those bubbles back down into the water, the microscopic bubbles, and oxygenate the tank. So a good outlet, a good pump, pushing the water back out is probably sufficient. But these guys, I just wanted to take extra precautions with them, make sure their tank is absolutely perfect, so we don't lose them. The next thing would be just filtration. So you could run a few sponge filters in here just fine. You might struggle when the fish get a little bit bigger, and they might start, you know, knocking around the sponge filters and everything, and they might start to get in the way of the fish as they get to, you know, that 12, 13, even 14-inch mark. So, well, more so for the males because they get quite big. But the filtration that I've got in this tank, I'll put the light over here. So, hang on. Let's really brighten that up. Okay, so as you can see, we've got a sump filter. So I think it's the Apple One sump filter. So we've got the first couple of tiers, just drops down there. We've got a nice bit of this cloth to take out all the really fine particles of crap that comes into the water. So the water flows down there. We've got a outlet that goes down there that adjusts the water flow. And then we've got down the other end, we've got the pump that then pumps the water back up through that hose and up and out the top. So out of all my aquariums, this is the only one that I have running on a sump filter, simply because this used to have a whole lot of different fish in there that needed to handle a high bio load. But I actually don't mind because the Black Nasties, for me, they are my most expensive fish and my most my favorite fish to keep. So I definitely want to give them the best water and the best tank possible. So that's what we've got. Guys, there's probably not much else to say on these fish. They're an absolutely amazing fish to keep. The things I would recommend is just, you've got to do weekly water changes, 25%, 20% even. Just make sure you're keeping the tanks nice and fresh, nice and clean. When you're doing the water changes, try and keep the temperature of the water kind of the same. You know, a 2-degree fluctuation between the water that you're putting into the tank and the current temperature of the tank is fine, because, you know, you end up going to be varying maybe 1 degree, and that's totally okay. But you definitely don't want to be putting 10 degrees Celsius water into a tank that is running at 28 degrees, because you have the real potential to shock the fish and really stress them out. So so look, guys, anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video on the Haitiensis cichlid. They're the only cichlid that's native to Haiti, and I think that they are a fish that needs to be protected, because I think just with human intervention, kind of introducing invasive species, it's really starting to wipe these guys out in the wild. And like I said before, they're a very temperamental fish, and they can stress out easily. So if you've got something like a tilapia that's been introduced to their native environment, they're just going to absolutely destroy these guys. No matter, even though the tilapia don't get quite as big, they're just going to intimidate the shit out of the Black Nasties, and really make it tough. So, you know, I just want to embrace this species and yeah, try and keep these alive in the hobby, especially in Australia, because it's very, very hard. It's very hard to get new fish species into Australia, so we got to keep these alive in the hobby in Australia to make sure we don't lose them. So, look, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you like these kind of videos. I hope you want to stick around for more. I'll have a lot more videos coming through. I've got a couple of spawnings already happening in the fish room, so that's going to be a couple of updates. We got an amazing new fish that has also been added into the fish room, which is really, really cool. I won't tell you what it is yet, but I will do a video very soon on that fish. So anyway, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.